What's up, everyone? How's everyone doing today? Hope you're doing very well. And yeah, so um, just kind of jumping into some things today. I want to kind of just point out the fact that the CBOE is the real ETF that we're waiting for. So if you are worried about it, you do not need to worry any longer. Everything's going to do well. So let's see who's here, guys. If you're here, you're not gonna see me unless you are watching on YouTube. So jump onto YouTube if you haven't, and if you are here, guys, say hello. I think that there'll be less comments today because we're not on Facebook, but we're gonna transition over to YouTube because Facebook's been really brutal lately for a lot of people. So that's just the way it is. Now, I'm gonna be missing a lot of these comments, so hopefully everyone sees and jumps on to this one today, because that'd be great, but you never know. Anyways, moving on, let's just get started up and we'll get to where we go. So here's the big one right here. Okay, Nasdaq. I just saw this like about an hour ago. So Nasdaq plotted a meeting to legitimize cryptocurrency, and this is something that's been reported on. Now, what does that mean for cryptocurrencies? Well, what it means is the whole idea of tokenizing the stock market, it's coming sooner than we actually think. The VP of Nasdaq said the other day that we would have around, he was saying that the VP of Nasdaq said we'll have, by 24 months from now, we should have 95% of the securities as tokens. I think that's a really crazy fast pace. Maybe it will take longer than that. But the point here is this. Things are going to do very, very well. And polymath will be a very large part of this. Right here, Nasdaq and polymath are going to be big. You also have to remember that we also have some really interesting stuff like the CBOE having an ETF. Now, a lot of people were like super FOMO, not FOMO, super FUD selling off right after we had that news. Now, let me remind you guys that there are about 5 different ETFs right now been put forth to the SEC. And the only one that actually has any type, and I mean like any type, of actual tact and actual backbone is the CBOE. And like I told you guys before, the CBOE is like the 6th or 5th biggest financial institution in the world. People respect those guys. And because they respect those guys, it becomes pretty awesome. And the reason why it's awesome is because you're just going to, like, basically what we're going to get to is we're going to get to a point where when you're making a decision, now we already had the commissioner of the SEC say that she didn't agree with denying the ETF. That was the first thing. We also have the CBOE, which is a far more backed institution that's been in trading stocks for a very long time and have that reputation. They're going to get the ETF. It's going to happen. Okay? And we saw exactly the same pattern. What happened last time the Winklevoss's ETF got denied, it went down about just as much, and then it jumped right back up. So I expected that to happen today, but I didn't know for sure, and I've been with my kids all day, so it's been really hard to do that kind of stuff. But here's what I think is going to happen today. We're not going to have a weekend dip, which will be pretty cool, because what I'm seeing right now in the market is we're starting to we bottomed actually already, and we're starting to move back up. And this all happened while I was getting ready for the show. Like, we were at just under 8, 78, 95, and then all of a sudden we were at 81. I was like, how did that happen? So the point is that the volatility is a good thing. Enjoy it. But right now we're not having a weekend dip. We're starting to actually have, if you look at the coin market cap right now, you'll see something that looks like a cup and handle. So you have like this cup right here. And now it's starting to move up out of the cup this way. If you're seeing that backwards, I'm sorry. But basically, you see like a bowl and you see it starting to move up. That's a good thing. Most of the cryptocurrencies on the price graph on CoinMarketCap have almost like a cup and handle type pattern on the short end of that 7-day pattern. So we should start seeing some positive momentum come in. Now, Someone asked me the other day, what coin would you buy if you could buy any coin right now? And I said there's quite a few that you could, but the things that I bought and would buy more of, number one, I think Cardano is still cheap. XLM's run up, so I'd wait for it to come down a little bit more, under 30 cents. Neo is a steal of a buy at $33. I'm telling you, you're gonna go, well, how the hell did that happen? Okay. You also have Binance Coin that's starting to run. I think it's gonna go back up to $20 again soon. VeChain or VET has been moving, and I think it will continue to move as well. OMG at $7 is a steal. Quantum at $7 is a steal. So there's a lot of really good fire sales stuff out there right now, and it's something you should probably start to look into as we're trying to push forward. Okay, so keep that in mind. I just want to say all that stuff because it's good to know, and if you have any questions about that, do let me know. Now, obviously there's going to be less questions today because I'm moving on to a new platform, but that's fine. I would love for you guys to just get onto YouTube as much as possible. So, hey, how's it going, Junk and Leroy, Viet and Mark? So we got a few of you guys here. More of you guys on here, the better. And then I can get off of Facebook all the time because, as you guys know, I'm censored on Facebook and constantly in Facebook jail, which is really annoying. So, this is really big news because a major milestone was just crossed, and this happened in the last couple weeks where we have more than 300 cryptocurrency funds. Now you got to remember that in each fund at least $1 million will probably be in there, upwards of $1 billion, potentially up to 7 billion, 8 billion, 10 billion. So some of these funds are going to be well funded with cash flow, and they're buying crypto. They're buying crypto everything. Why do you think they're doing that? They're seeing something happening in the market. It's obvious. So they're getting prepared for the future, and it's really a smart way to go about it. It's how you do well in the future. Thanks, Leroy, for sharing, brother. I appreciate it. Appreciate all you guys, regardless if you're here right now or not, because some of you guys are probably like, where is Joel tonight? And I'm here, but I'm not on Facebook. So we're going to work out that. And I think that over time, you guys will like the fact that we're on YouTube, not Facebook, because a lot of you guys have complained that there's been a lot of issues with Facebook, apparently. So it's good to know that. Anyways, moving on, we also have more mass adoption coming. So when I say mass adoption, it means that all the old companies are starting to use blockchain, and here is another example of that right here. We see that the 108-year-old Japanese conglomerate Hitachi tests blockchain for retail settlements. So even Hitachi, one of the oldest companies, in the retail world, I would say, that's still around. I mean, there's the Bay and them and a couple others. And I think the Bay closed, actually, the Hudson Bay Company. So 108-year-old conglomerate, they do it old school. They've added internet eventually, and now they're like, well, if we've added internet long ago, we can add, cryptocurrency. So they're going to look, well, maybe not cryptocurrency, but they'll probably accept it after they have blockchain in their retail settlements, because that would make sense, right? So this is like fundamental side of it, is looking at it and going, yeah, that actually would make sense. We should do that, right? So there we go. Now, I'm going to make a shorter show tonight because it's already late, and I'm just giving this a shot tonight, and I'm going to see how people like it. So do give me your feedback, guys, and do give me what you think about things, okay? Now, this was a really interesting piece of information here, because basically Google Chrome removed the extension for MetaMask. Now, I think that's a really odd thing to do. I don't really understand why they've done it, but it's pretty interesting when you look at it that way, because they said that they're removing it, and they may have done this by accident because they're removing all the mining applications on Google Store. So that could be because of that, because there's a lot of scammy applications, so they just removed everything. And MetaMask was even messaging them saying, like, where is our stuff? Like, we can't find it. And MetaMask said was it Coinbase? No, MetaMask messaged Google, and they said, how come you took us off your Play Store? And they were like, well, because cryptocurrencies. Stupid. So what MetaMask did is they've made a way for you to download it still if you don't have it yet. But what a silly thing for Google to do. I mean, they did something good yesterday by removing the ad ban, and they did something stupid today by doing that. So, you can never win, it seems. All right. Seriously, no one messaging at all. That's crazy. All right, so okay, so MasterCard. We have the CEO of MasterCard, and he said something, but he didn't say all cryptocurrencies were junk. He said that privacy coins are junk and they're not going to last. What have I been telling all you guys for a long time already? Privacy coins are going to be the first ones that are targeted by government organizations to get rid of. Because if you think about it logically, if I use Monero or Dash for child pornography or child trafficking or sex trafficking or drugs or anything that I could use for bad, they can't track it. So because of that, I could see that the government's going to go after them. And this is the same thing that he did. He went after privacy coins. He's not going after the regular coins, the normal cryptocurrencies like like Bitcoin or Ethereum or Litecoin. He's going after cryptocurrencies like Monero and Dash, Bytecoin, things that you can hide a lot of information with. And I understand why people don't like privacy coins. I understand why people like privacy coins as well. But I think once cryptocurrency becomes a completely legitimate way of exchanging for good, whether you call it a bartering system because it's different cryptos, or you call it financial system because they're different cryptos, I don't know how we're going to actually deem them in terms of economics wise. Some of them will be commodities, some of them will be currencies, some of them will be security tokens. So it's quite an interesting thing. But what he is saying here, he's saying that they're junk because, no, he's not saying they're junk because they're bad products, because like Monero is a fine product and Dash is a fine product, but he's saying they're junk because you can use them for bad, and bad actors can easily use this for bad things. And so that's where he's coming from, and I don't disagree with him on that either. I am all for making cryptocurrencies legitimate. If you guys have seen my post about IDACA, the International Digital Asset and Cryptocurrency Association has been started. We have a billionaire, a couple millionaires on our board, and basically we are developing it into being one of the coolest things out. Now, I'm really shocked that not many people are messaging tonight, but I guess Facebook is a little bit more interactive. We'll try to pull you guys onto the platform as soon as we can. But do ask questions. Do not feel shy. Click that bell button below you right now. Click on that that thumbs up button, and subscribe to my videos so you can see all of them. Okay? And share it if you love to. All right. So, here we go. These two guys, are they from a very strong financial background? Yes, they have lots of money. Are they from a strong financial background other than that? Not so much. That's a fact. So, they definitely are intelligent. They definitely are running a great exchange. The problem with the Winklevosses is they are not from a strong securities background. They don't have the strength and the reputation they need to actually get where they want to go. That makes sense. So, knowing that, just keep in mind that's where we're kind of trying to head towards, and that their ETF getting rejected was actually scrutinized by the commissioner of the SEC, saying that she didn't understand why. Now, I understand why. I'm telling you, they're just waiting for the Cboe. Once the Cboe ETF opens, other ones will start to go as well. Mark my words, I'm telling you for sure that's going to happen. So, the Winklevosses own and run the Gemini exchange, and they are great. Like, I have nothing to say that's bad about them. I just don't think the ETF is not something that a Securities Exchange Commission will actually allow people that don't come from this field, right? If they worked at the SEC, or they worked in the stock market and stuff along those lines, or they were investment bankers or something, they might have more chance, but not just the way they are right now, because they need backing from a really strong financial institution like New York Stock Exchange or Toronto Stock Exchange or the Cboe or CME, etc. Okay, but I do think if they get denied, if the ETF in America gets denied, I think a lot of places around the world are going to start doing ETFs, and they don't care. Asia will do it, UK will do it, etc. and that'll hurt America. So I think they're going to do it just because it's better for them. All right, I don't know if you guys saw this. This one's pretty sad. I feel bad for anyone that got into Kick ICO, but it was another ICO got hacked. Okay, so they lost $8 million after their smart contract was breached, and this is something that all the ICOs should be making sure, checking their list 15 times, not twice, to make sure that everything is done properly and not done in an unethical way. And when you do this stuff, you need to hackathon it hardcore. You need to make sure that it is not something vulnerable. The problem is, people don't know it, that they don't know it, and they just do really vulnerable stuff and they hurt themselves. And this is what happens. So how not to get hacked is a better question than how do you get hacked. So personally, how you don't get hacked, first and foremost, you don't use the same computer for your trading and your hodling, etc. If you use Jax or Exodus wallet, your computer should not be connected to the internet. You should be, if you're in crypto, having a Trezor. A Trezor can save your fucking life. I'm saying it like that because it's true. I know people that have lost over 30 Bitcoin because they didn't have one of these. And so they are very good to have around. Trezors will keep you where you gotta go. Gotta collab with the big boys. Yes, they do. You got it, mother. So, where we're gonna go now? The Trezors, what they do is they secure your crypto and only leave it on a public address. So you can't get hacked through a Trezor unless you gave someone your code or something along those lines. So it's very hard to get hacked. You put like your seed words into different places, so they're safe. Oh, sorry, I'm stretching. My back's killing me. And so yeah, Kenton, what's up, brother? How you doing, man? It was good chatting with you today. I was having a little bit of a hard day, guys. You know, when you're an entrepreneur, guys, it can be really difficult some days when, you know, you have so much stuff going and then everything seems so bad. And the one thing you have to learn when you are an entrepreneur is you have to be perseverance. The perseverance that you have to have is very intense because there's sometimes I have like 9 or 10 bad days in a row where things should go one way and they don't. But here's what's interesting. When we do, you see, oh, look at this. Mining service for Hashflare will be resumed tomorrow. All SHA 256 contracts will continue to operate on the same terms. Yep. So Leroy, you guys know why they shut down, Hashflare shut down their mining facilities, right? They actually were not making any profit, and so they shut them down until they would be making profit. And now that we're at 8,000 again, they can start making some profit. So they're turning their machines on again. I'm telling you right now that we'll probably see 9,000 potentially next week if everything goes the right way. And I think we're headed up to 10. We're going to head up to 10, I think, again. And the reason why I think that is because the volume is back. The volume has been around 15 to 20 billion for a while. So I really see that coming back, and we're going to head towards the moon again. I don't know if we're going to kill it, but we'll do well. Yeah, Leroy, there was no profit with them for a while. But right now, there'll be a little bit of profit. And as they go up, as crypto goes up, it will be good. But the mining difficulty increases by 100 times, apparently, soon. So it'll be even harder for them to make money unless crypto starts to move, which with an ETF, it will. That's the best part. Okay. I didn't think they want to miss out either. No one wants to miss out here. You got to realize it's like Bitmain. Bitmain has been mining crypto for probably like 2 weeks without any profit at one point, right? Why do you think they kept on mining it? Because they knew those coins are going to be worth a lot more later, so keep mining it. As long as they can afford to run their facilities, they're fine. The only problem is if you can't afford to run your facilities, that's when you start having issues, right? So no one wants to miss out, Leroy. I can tell you that for sure. I don't want to miss out. Do you want to miss out? None of us want to miss out. And that's where we're at. So Kick ICO, sorry if you had your cash in there, but it's probably gone. Unfortunately, that's something that nobody could have stopped. So you can't feel bad about it. It's just life. Sometimes it's fair, and sometimes it's not so fair. And that's just something we can do. I mean, maybe you'll get your money back. But this is the most interesting thing right here above my head. This secret meeting, okay? They're plotting to legitimize cryptocurrency in a secret meeting. Do you see why that's so important? Because if you don't see why that's important, you're missing the bigger picture big time. Okay? These guys, these are big players. We're talking trillions of dollars there. We're not talking about billions of dollars. And you got to realize another thing. The Nasdaq is going to open the FX exchange. The FX exchange is going to be free. There's no fees, at least not for a while. And they're doing it to actually build up cryptocurrency. Why do you think they're doing that? There's this guy who sits on Nasdaq, sits in Nasdaq named Barry Silbert. Wait a minute, doesn't he also sit in Coinbase? Oh my goodness, wait a minute. Nasdaq owns 50% of Coinbase. Oh my goodness. Do you see what's going on now? Another thing. MasterCard? They own 25% of Coinbase. The more you dig deep, guys, the more you're gonna see it. The more you stop watching the news, and the less you watch the news, and the more that you start looking and challenging and researching a little bit, you're gonna start to see stuff a lot clearer, and it is gonna be amazing. You're gonna be like, holy F-bomb, because when you start discovering like who is in the digital currency group, what else are they involved in? Is David Drake involved in the digital currency group? Is Barry Silbert involved in the digital currency group? Is Tom Draper? I don't know. Go find out. Go find all the names that you'll find. You'll be surprised. Maybe you won't be surprised. I probably ruined it a little bit. But the point is this. We are headed in the right direction. We have reversed. We have gone down. We are going to go up more. Maybe to 9K. Then we're going to come down to 8.5. And I think after that point, we'll go up even more. Or we go parabolic this week. But I think that's coming. I don't know, with all the positive sentiment and all the good news lately that's been coming out, if we're going to have more panic selling again. I think it is going to be really hard for us to see 6 again now. I would love to see 6, but I think if you missed 6, you missed the bottom. I missed the bottom. I missed the bottom because I put a buy order in like a few $100s cheaper than it actually got to. Had I made my buy order at 59, that would have been a much better buy order. But that's live and learn. That's crypto, and you need to make multiple buy orders so that if you miss one bottom, you don't miss all of them, right? So that's a strategy I'm going to teach you guys right now. It's called scalping and scaffolding. So think of what a scaffold. When you build a building, you build the scaffolds on the outside so you can keep climbing up one floor at a time. You can do the bricks and you can do all that stuff. Same way you do your buy orders. You scaffold them. So like you hit one at the bottom. So let's say like, I don't know. I'm going to pick a random coin. Let's say it's ADA. And let's say it's 0.000040000. Okay? Something along those lines. And then I think it's going to go down. So I'm going to scaffold my buy orders. So if it's 4,000 Satoshis, I'm going to set one buy order at 3,500 Satoshis or 3,600 Satoshis for 25% of my pot. Then I'm going to set another buy order at, 3,400, 3,300 Satoshis and put 25% of my pot. Or maybe even 30 or 40%. Because usually the higher up, I do more. That's personal strategy. You can take as much risk as you want. Then the third one, I'm going to go down to like 2,900 Satoshis. And if it drops to 2,900 Satoshis and it buys and that buy order clicks in, amazing. If it doesn't, that's okay. Because I'm sure one of those other buy orders would have hit. And if I ended up with, and I didn't make it on that one, I just put that allocation of Bitcoin into something else and wait for it to go. Right? So that's how you have to think about it when you're trading. The psychological side is it's easier than you actually think. It's just moving things around. It's really what you're doing. Like my buddy David Moorfield, He woke up the other day, messaged me and said, I just bought VET. What the fuck is VET? He literally wrote that. And I was like, oh man, it's VeChain, dude. It's freaking awesome. Like, it's awesome. He's like, oh man, I was half asleep. You told me to sell my XLM because it's at top. I said I didn't tell you to sell. I said I would sell it. He goes, I go to him. So what did you do? He's like, I sold 50% of my XLM because it hit 33 cents. I was like, yes, that's exactly what I would have done. And then he's like, I bought VET though. I don't know what it is. I said, just leave it. It's good. VET's awesome. Trust me. He's like, oh well, I've trusted you before. I'll do it again. VET went up like 20% and then he sold it. He was like, how did you know? I was like, I didn't know for sure. No one knows for sure. Anything can happen. But here's the thing. When you use technical analysis and fundamental analysis and you know something has run up from 20 cents to 33 cents, it's going to have some pullback, right? Everything pulls back a little bit. So I told him I would sell some of my XLM. So he hedged it. So he pulled half. And then I didn't tell him to buy anything. He accidentally bought VET, and I told him, leave it. It's a great project. And then it went up 24% in a day. He was just like, how do you do that? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know, man. But what I can tell you is I knew that their token swap had finished, and it was only a matter of time before it moved. So I said, leave it. And there you go. So that's the kind of stuff I love doing for people, man. I love those stories. Yeah, and Leroy tonight, good job, brother. You hit that bottom of like 7,900 or 78 something, and then you bought in, and look at you now, brother. You're up. Freaking love that stuff. All right, so I'm going to leave you guys off for tonight. Unfortunately, we didn't have as many people as I'd like to be commenting on here because that's kind of the funnest part of the show for me. But I guess I'll go back to Facebook for another night and try to, during the show, talk people into going on YouTube so they see it. But that's the goal of the future. Anyways, I'll see all you guys soon. I hope you have a great weekend, everyone. It's a long weekend in Thailand, so it's kind of like a little bit slower, I guess you could say. And it's going to be great. You guys know it. I know it. Life is good, man. And if you think life isn't good, you got to do something else because life is awesome, okay? So have yourselves an awesome weekend, guys. I'll see you all in a couple of days. And please do click that subscribe button, click that like button, and click that share button. If you could, I would really appreciate it very, very much. So I will see you guys on Monday. Have a great weekend. Let's hope that we have not a weekend dip, but a weekend pump, and we end up at 8,500 by Monday. All right, guys. See you all soon. Coach K, your cryptocurrency educator, signing off for the night, and I'll see you on Monday, guys. Bye-bye.